So now that you have an Xperiencify account, one of the things that is extremely tempting is to log into Xperiencify and say, all right, I'm ready to build my course and I'm going to jump in and I'm just going to start creating it. We know for a fact, we've been doing this for a very long time, that if the first thing that you do is to jump into our platform here and start to, actually just start creating a course, you're going to run up against a lot of friction. And it's really similar to the kind of friction that you would experience if you're writing a book or, creating anything from scratch. If you sit down at a desk with a blank sheet of paper and you say, okay, I'm going to write my book right now, you'll probably go crazy because you're just, how do you get that first word out? The same thing happens when you're building a course. And in order to then build a course effectively, as you can see some of the courses I've built on the screen here, the way to build a course effectively is to actually prepare as much as you can before you come into the software and start to build it, right? Because the platform is there to have a place where we structure and organize your content and put our experiences around it. So the earning points and taking actions and celebrations and experiences, unlocking the dopamine center of your learner's brain. That's what our platform is for. A platform is not really a creative space to build what you want, right? We have lots and lots of tools that can help you with that. But the actual Xperiencify platform itself is a place where you put and structure the content. So here's my point. My point is that before you ever log into Xperiencify or, before you ever attempt to start building a course, we would love for you to think about what your course is going to be about and actually structure it. And so if you'd like, please reach out and we will give you the, these templates to help you think through your course and think about the pieces you want. For example, here's the template for understanding the basics for your course about, what's your school name? What's your support email? What's the name of your course? What are you going to charge for it? Is it going to be a subscription? Is it going to be a payment plan? How are you going to have it? Is it going to be Stripe or is it going to be PayPal? What's going to be on the pages that you're going to have, right? Because you have to remember your course, because you're putting it online, is essentially a website. So, on the website pages that, again, remember, they're all in Xperiencify. What do you want on those pages? So this is your step one in terms of setting up that, getting clear about what those basics are. The second thing that we would have you do is actually think through the content of your course. Now, you're an expert in what you do. It could be legal, it could be medical, it could be health and wellness, it could be technology, it could be marketing, it could be business. There's whatever topic it is, you're the expert. But any type of learning needs to be broken down and structured so that your learner can follow along and move through the material that you've created in a way that makes sense, in a way that's engaging, in a way that's, allows you to support them, right? So what we have here is we have a template that you can walk through that helps you to organize what the content of your course is. In tandem with this particular document, we also give you this Google Sheet so that you can think through the full fleshed out outline of your course. And so you can see here, it's fairly self-explanatory around, what the module is and what the what the trainings are and what the description is, etc. And so you can create as many rows as you want down here. You could have 50 modules and 100 trainings. Well, obviously that's a course that 0 students will get through, but you're able to expand this as much as you want. But again, using a spreadsheet like this or a document similar to this, where you're actually structuring your content so that when you come into Xperiencify, you know what to build really quickly. And then the third, the final piece is about celebrations and experiences and sort of asking yourself, what experiences do you want your students to have? When do you want to have those full screen celebrations? At the beginning, at the end? Is there a certain milestone that you want to do? Is there an Easter egg that you want to put in there? And experiences are, how will you continue to engage your students as they move through the course? How will you nudge them along if they get lost? Et cetera, et cetera. How many points will they earn? What are the total points for the course, et cetera. So, if you don't already have a copy of these, reach out to our support team or reach out to me or anybody else. And we will send you a copy of these templates so that you can structure your course and be prepared to, come into the platform here and then actually build the course. So let's start with that. Now, assuming that you've gone through that process of structuring your course like I have, I'm going to show you how easy it is to build something like this, the Fun and Easy Fitness 30-day challenge, right? We know a lot of people who come into our platform love to build challenges because that works really well for not only lead generation, but then also a cohort that can walk through something. Depending, it doesn't really matter what your expertise is. Again, across all of the different expertises or all the different sectors, providing a challenge for someone to build a skill or make a change in their life or transform who they are, etc. A challenge is a great way to do that. So this is a very common type of course to have. So the first thing that you're going to see is that it's really, again, really easy to say, wow, what are all these things that I do? Here's this menu on the left-hand side here. It's like, what are all of these pieces? I'm not going to actually walk through any of these pieces here other than the courses. And we're going to touch on one piece in the account section because right now we're here to get you moving, get a course published, and actually get you earning money with your course so that you can build your business and you can, continue to grow. So getting lost in the weeds and those other places is not what we want to do. We want to build the course and we want to get it published. So the very first thing after you log into your Xperiencify account is you're going to land on this courses page. And the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to add a new course. So we're going to hover our mouse over the add a new course button. And you're going to see the very first thing there is that we actually give you suggestions for templates. We have a bunch of different templates. You can click here to see all of them. But the reason we have created templates, again, is to remove as much friction as possible to help you create your course quickly. And so we've identified 8 or 9 of the most common courses that people want to build. And so we've created templates for them. And that, we've built the structure. We have created some template experiences for you, et cetera, so that you can actually do this even more rapidly. So in this case, I'm just going to choose a 5-day challenge. And once I build that, oh, Shazam, look at that. It is automatically added to my account here, down here under the unpublished courses. So that's a key piece there, unpublished courses. The published courses that the public can see and actually go purchase right now are up here at the top. So now this 5-day challenge is under the unpublished course. Every course in Xperiencify has 6 steps that you have to walk through. And they're the same 6 steps no matter if you're building a challenge or a membership or a cohort or a mini course or whatever it is. They always have the same thing. So in order to get into the course, we actually, you can click on the icon, you can click on the title, or you can click on the little arrow here. But you click on the name of the course, and here you can see, we now have these 6 steps that we walk through. I'm going to make them a little bigger. We've got your basic course info step. We've got the pricing in step 2. We have step 3, which is course content, and that's really where, a lot of work is going to get done because that's the meat of your course and the content. So it's your videos, it's your training, and it's your actions, and it's the engagement that you're going to have with the actual content you're teaching. Step number 4 is your pages and templates. Remember, I said every online course is really, it's a mini website, right? And so that's not something to be afraid of because we already built those pages for you. You don't have to do anything fancy, any fancy coding or anything, but we do have to customize the order page, the home page, and what we call the single training page, or where your lessons are, and so that it matches your brand and so that it has your language on it. The 5th step is our experiences, right? So this is where your emails are, your push notifications, etc. And we'll go through that. And then step 6 is those celebrations, those full screen celebrations. And then once you've completed all 6 of those steps, you actually will have a course that you can then roll over here and you can actually publish it. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is come into basic course info. And you're going to see that we have, course name, we have an image for the course, we have a site icon that we can put in here. We have a course homepage, the URL for the course. and then we have a course description. So I'm just going to quickly put those pieces in there. So we'll give a name to this course, and because I already have a course named this, I'm going to call this the 5-day fitness challenge, right? And you'll see up here the title of this course is already, it changes automatically on the fly. The course image, when we come in here, you can click on this template and you will see that we can either upload an image that we have, or we can click on this icon to use images from Unsplash, right? And Unsplash is a database of images that are free for you to use. They are royalty-free images. So if I put fitness in here, just as an example, we'll see that. And look, there's a fantastic image that I can do right here. Boom. Let's just center that. And I'm going to embed that image into the course. Three, two, one, Shazam. So now you'll see the image for my course is going to be these fantastic people working out. And then if I want to change the icon, I can also click here, and then I can upload an icon in the .ico format. And that's that little piece at the top of the screen here where you see the X on the tab, or you see the Google Doc piece, the Google Sheet piece. That's what the site icon is. For the URL, what we can do is you can change this piece so that you'll see this part does not change, right? That's the URL, that's the core URL for your school. But you can change this so that you have a really friendly ending to the site, so that you can, when you're marketing it or when you're sending it out, or whatever, it makes sense. So the other one I have is the 30-day challenge, and I'm going to put, the 5-day challenge. I'll put that. So we're going to change that to the 5-day challenge. And that one key thing here is that you do need to click the save button on the right-hand side here at the screen in order to save that URL. So last, you have the course description. And the course description, as you can see here, it's where you talk about the benefits of this course and when it is completed. I've already created that. This is also going to be something, and we'll see it later. This is going to appear on the order form. So you can see here, this will be on your order form, and it'll also be added as a description on the pages if you'd like to. We can use something called tokens in order to do that. But by default, it's going to go in your order form. So you want to be complete in your description of the course, but you also want to keep it tight, because it's not, you don't want to be too long-winded about that. But obviously, anything you do, you can edit going forward. So that's step number one. That's the basic course info that you need to do. You saw it, again, really fast. If you're already prepared and have the structure, boom. Step number one is so easy. Step number two is, what do we want to, what do we want to charge for this? Now, the challenge that I already have in my account is a free challenge, because that's a way that a lot of us use a challenge in order to get people into our company, or get people into our business as a lead magnet, or as that first step in. So challenges are great to do that, because it's a way for them to start to get engaged and start to make transformation, and then you can upsell them, or bring them into your practice in another way. In this case, though, I'm going to say, hey, look, what if I want to actually charge for this challenge, because this is for my advanced students, right? And so we have a couple of options. The first is that we can just have a single payment. So a single payment means that they're going to pay one time, one fee, and they get access to the course, Shazam. If I wanted to do a single payment, I click on the add button, this green button here, boom. And I can do whatever I would like. I can make it, I could make it $99, or I could make it, $299. I can make it whatever price I want. I could make it $9.99. There's no reason it has to be a whole number. And in that way, if I save this and I were to just walk away right now, when people come to my order screen, you'll see that it's $9.99, and that's what they would do. You can see here that I'm not going to go into this right now, but if you have a different currency you want to work with, you can change that in your account settings. You can change it to many different currencies. And we also need to connect Stripe or PayPal so that you can accept payments. Just as a side note, when you connect your Stripe or PayPal account, we do not see that. And I'll demonstrate that in a separate video here for you, but we don't see any of your transactions. We don't take any fees through those transactions or whatever. We just need to connect it so that you can get paid for your course. So that's a single payment. And that's if you just want to have one payment for it. Now, if that's not, let's just say that this was this is really going to be an intense challenge, and I want to charge $1,000 for it, right? $999. But I know that that's going to be, potentially a barrier for many of my learners or many of my people in my community. And I know they're going to want this course, but I want to offer them the option to break those payments down into maybe 3 payments or more 4 payments. And you can add an installment plan. And so you can say, instead of the one-time $9.99, you could say, look, if you give me the $9.99, that I'll give it to you a discount. But other than that, you could do 250. The number of payments is 4, and let's just say you're gonna do it monthly, and the payment would be $250, right? And so the total is going to be $1,000. And so you say, or I guess we could put 5, right? 5 payments of 250. My point here is that if it's a great marketing tool to say, look, if you're willing to give me a one-time payment, then I'll give you a discount. If you want to do a payment plan over time, it'll be slightly more expensive simply because you're financing their entry and their entrance to the course, right? So that's a single payment and a payment plan. So if I remove the single payment, you see I can still have a payment, an installment plan. So that will still appear if that's the way that you want to only have an installment plan. So I'm going to remove that as well with the little X. Another payment option that you have is a subscription. So you can come and you can move over to the subscription plan. And again, adding a subscription plan, you can just say, look, maybe in order to, this challenge goes on for forever. You're going to always keep adding new material, and you want people to subscribe, and you're going to have them pay $25 a month, or maybe it's $25 a year, to be a part of this challenge. It's up to you. But once you do that, when people come to your order page, they will sign up for the subscription, and then you will automatically bill them $25 every month on the same day going forward. A final piece that I want to point out here in the course price is that you can also create discount coupons. So this is a way for you to incentivize students to come and join your course. Again, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say this is a $99 challenge. And so I'm going to leave that there. And then we can add a discount coupon, and we could say, new student. So for people who have just, who are new to my practice and want to come in, I'm going to say, look, I'm going to give them a percentage discount of 50%. And the coupon never expires. And if I had a payment plan, right, or if I had a subscription, I can either say it's either the first payment or all payments. Since I'm only going to charge one-time fee, I'm just going to say all payments. And let's give it a better name, right? Like it's a new student discount, so I'm just going to take out the spaces. New student 2025, let's call it that. And so this would be the code I would send them and save. I'm going to save that. So now I can send this code and say, look, when you come to my course, if you want to join the challenge, it's usually $99, but because you're new to my community, I'm going to give you a 50% discount, so it's only going to be $45. Great incentive to get people into your practice, right? So let's leave it like that. That's step number 2. The third step is actually building out course content. So remember, this is where, if you have done the work of understanding, what is the outline of your course and what are the pieces of your course that you that you want to have in it. So what are the trainings? What are the different lessons? What are the actions that you want them to take, etc. This section, rather than being daunting, is really going to be easy for you to build out. So the first thing that you'll see is there's 3 different types of training material. So we have modules and trainings, which is your core training material. We have replays, which are used for content that you've recorded elsewhere. So let's just say that you give, let's just say in this case, I did my workouts live and we recorded those workouts, and then I would bring them into the challenge and I would, put them in step by step as I did them, either daily or weekly, and then send that to my community and say, hey, look, the latest workout is there. Come and watch the replay. That's what we would use replays for. And then bonuses. So bonuses are extra content that you will unlock for a learner if they achieve some milestones. So maybe they've, if my community members come in and they complete all 5 days of the challenge, maybe I'll have another bonus section where there's some great yoga exercises or stretching exercises, or maybe they'll unlock a bonus where we cook a meal together and I, reveal some great recipes and some nutritional habits that are great, or, something like that. So a bonus is another training, but it's unlocked when they achieve something. It could be number of points. It could be a training completed. It could be that they've sent you in a worksheet, etc. So to dive into, before I dive in, I actually want to step back and just make sure that we all understand the structure of how things work in Xperiencify, right? So you have your overall account, which is your school. Inside your school, you have courses, right? You have a number of different courses. So those are like classrooms. Then within each classroom, you're only going to teach one subject. So this one in this case is a fitness challenge. And so with the fitness challenge, we have modules, which are the topics, like the major topics. And then the trainings are the lessons underneath that topic. So I could have module 1, 2, 3, I could have, module 1 could be, legs, and module 2 could be arms, and module 3 could be abs. And we could, we could break it down that way. And then each lesson would be a different workout. But in this case, since it's a 5-day challenge, I'm just going to walk through, 5 days of working out so that we combine them all together into one module. The first thing that you want to do is that you want to customize the module. So I'm going to click up here and I'm going to click on edit this module. When you do, you'll see that you'll have a pop-up box show up. And this is where you're going to customize the material inside this module. So I'm just going to find the content for this. So in this particular case, I'm just going to call it, the FEF 5-day challenge. We'll put a description of this module. Again, we have the ability to change this URL down here, right? So if that's important to you, if you want to have specific language or nomenclature or pieces within your URL, you can put that there. And then we can choose how many points that anyone will earn for completing the module. So you could update this and say when they complete the full module, we're going to give them 5 points. And you can then also choose, what they're going to get for each of the trainings. But for right now, we'll do those inside each training. As with each of the trainings and with the course itself, you do have the ability to change this image here. So again, I'm going to click on that image. And, if you don't have an image, again, you can come up here and say, use images from Unsplash. Unsplash allows you to then, let's just call it, fitness challenge. Let's just see if there's something. Oh, look at that. Now there's we'll put this person in here. Maybe Mr. Intimidation here in the gym. We'll embed that image. And pop, there it is. So now the module will have this image associated with it in your course. So let's click on save to save those changes. And Shazam, now my module is customized, right? The next thing that we want to do is we want to add information for each of the trainings. So each of the training days, what day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we want to put that information in. So if I click on day number 1, you'll see that for each training, there are 5 things that we can do for each training. So the first one is, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. You can have your basic info. So not to be confused with step 1, basic info, but this is basic information about the training itself. We also have our media file. So in this case, is it a video that you're going to upload? And you can see that they can be up to a maximum of 2 gigabytes, right? So you can upload a file, or you can link the video to either YouTube or Vimeo or something like that. And you just have to put in your link to your video and it'll be attached. Whoops. The next thing is the release timing. So what is release timing? For each training, you can decide, do you want it to be released immediately? Do you want this to be available to your students as soon as they sign up for the course and logged in? Do you want it to be available, in a timed fashion? So if I zoom in here for you, you can see that it can be available immediately. It can be on a specific date. It can be after after a certain number of days. So when somebody logs into this challenge, I can say, look, leave it locked until, day 2 or day 3 or day 4 after they've logged in, or the nth day of a specific week. So you could say, hey, look, wait until the 3rd day of the 2nd week. Or again, you can leave it locked. In this case, I'm going to leave it locked until I release it as I'm going to make it immediately available because this is a challenge. And as soon as they log in, I want them to start the challenge and get moving forward. The 4th thing that every training can do is that we need actions and points. And so this is where the part of the experience, the activating that dopamine center of the brain is where, one of those key pieces here is how do they earn points? So in this case, you'll see that we've already put, 2 actions that you can use as examples, but you can always add more actions, or you can take them away. You can actually delete one if you'd like. You can discard it, right? You can delete it right here. But with these actions, you want to actually, this is where you're going to confirm that, did they watch your training video? Have they completed the worksheet that you wanted them to download? Have they gone out and had a conversation with their partner? Have they, tried to do the code? Have they done the worksheet? Whatever it is. So whatever pieces that you want. But the key here is that you want to make sure that you give them actions in order for them to continue to be engaged in the course, have something to do, and take a next step. I'll walk through those in a second. And then the 5th thing that you can do is this section right here where it says downloads. And still one of my favorite things is that, this is not a section where you will download anything. This is where you add other materials, you upload other materials that your learners will then download. So let's just say, in my case, you would see if you took my my fitness challenge, every day they can download a recipe for the day, for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack. And so those are, worksheets that I have put in there. They also have a fitness journal that I ask them to keep so that they, they track what they, what water consumption do they have? What sleep did they get? What kind of movement did they do throughout the day? And so this is where you upload those documents either in PDF format or doc format. You could put a presentation here. You could put an audio file so that, if you had a podcast that you wanted to go along with it or something else, this is where you upload it. Coming back to, now let's actually fill in some information here, right? So for basic information, I'm just going to say, look, here's fitness challenge day number 1 that we have. Again, you can change the image that you have. If you have a custom image, this is great. I think they're probably in here. Yeah, they are. Look at that. You can see, look, here's the different days that I have. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to choose one. Hey, look, here's an image that I had in my media gallery. And so you can say, hey, look, here's day number 5. What's the training going to be about? You put a really quick blurb about what the training is about. Again, if you want to change the specific URL for this, I'm not going to worry about it. This is day number 1. And then if you want to have notes about the training, you can put those in there about what's going to actually happen in the training and what they're going to do. It gives us some tips. In this case, I give them some tips about what to do and the types of exercises they're going to have, etc. One of the great things that I did not touch on in the basic info, but you'll see here is we have an editor in this, and if you click on the slash, or it's called a markup editor. So if you do the / anywhere in a large text box like this, you'll see you're able to format the text with these different pieces. So if I wanted to do some bold text, I could click on that, and when I type, it's going to be right. Or if I highlight it and then I want to give a link, I can put it there, and then I can choose what link it is. I can either put a URL is, I guess it would be fun. Right? Or I can choose one of the tokens that we have in terms of like the course name or et cetera, et cetera. So that's that's sort of an advanced markup, but something that you'll see throughout. So that's the basic info for any one training or any one lesson that you have. The media file, again, you can either choose it from a gallery or you can link it to a video. So the video could just be, in my case, I linked them all to now that I'm not sure if this will, oh, look at that. So there you go. It took that. And even though that'll just go to my channel, you would put the actual URL of your video in there, or you could upload a file into your media gallery and connect it here. The release timing, as we talked earlier, I'm going to leave it in immediately, but you have those options for when you want it to be released. You will notice here as well, something called binge mode. It says it's moved to the course settings, and I'll show you, we'll get to the course settings in just a bit. But the binge mode is our answer to, what we've been taught or how we've been trained by Netflix and Hulu and Apple TV and Disney Plus, etc. So that, once if you engage binge mode or you turn it on, that means that as soon as they complete one training, we're going to offer them the next training immediately, even if it's locked or even if it's supposed to happen in a week from now. Binge mode allows them to go into that next training to get them to continue to move along as you would in Netflix. The next section, actions and points. So I'm going to first check to see if they've watched the video. And if they have, I'm going to say, rather than watching the video for this one, since it's a challenge, I'm going to say, hey, did they finish the workout? Right? And I'm going to, the action kind that I'm asking them to do is actually have some movement. And then the detail action notes, like I'm going to actually tell them exactly what I want them to do in order to consider this done. And then, you can just decide, what's the label next to the little radio button or the checkbox. You can decide how many points you want to give them for doing this action. And if you wanted to give them a tag, you could put a tag on their account to say, hey, look, they completed training number 1, or they completed training number 2, or they completed module number 1. And this is a great way for you to track learners across your course so that you can either give them bonuses or give them, nudge them along or give them celebrations, or you can also do some analysis yourself and say, hey, look, are people getting halfway through my challenge and dropping off? Are they, only completing the first one? So you can track that through tags. So I'm going to roll this one up, and then for the second action that I'm going to have for my challenges, I'm going to have them complete a daily wellness journal. Actually, I'm going to have them complete a daily wellness journal. So again, simple checkbox, daily wellness journal. The type of action that I'm going to call this is a reflection action. And here's what I want them to do. I want them to, here's the description I want to do. And I didn't mention this in the first one, but you can also change the image of the action as well. So in this case, if we wanted to come in here again, use unsplash and oh, look, that one actually looked really good. I wanted to put that in here and just say, look, complete your wellness journal right here. We'll embed that image. Shazam. So that's, that will be a square image that shows up there. And then finally, I'm going to, show you the different types of actions. And I'm going to say for this next one, rather than just a simple checkbox, we also can, we can have an essay response. So this is where we ask them to give us feedback, or we can have a multiple choice question. So it's, many people think of this as a quiz, but it's also, so it's a way to test knowledge. But it's also a way for you to, have a sort of a choice about, hey, did you, how hard did you find this challenge, right? So the multiple choice, if I choose that, you come down and you look at the different responses. And did you find this, this was easy, this was perfect, or this was too hard, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be assessment in terms of their knowledge. It could also be an assessment in terms of how, was the training, was it understandable? Was it too long? Was it, anything like that? So that's another way to do it. That's a way to, all of the other fields are similar. This is the, you can have as many multiple choice questions as you'd like. But then if we were to choose the essay response, this is where you can ask them to give you feedback. And you can choose how many words that you would like for them to give you feedback. Whoops. And Shazam. So those are the different types of actions that you can do. The final piece, again, the download section. So if you had a worksheet, if you have a podcast, if you have a presentation or some other piece that you want to include in this training, then again, you would just click on the add button. Here's the recipe book that I have, and so I can attach that. And that will be available for them to download. And so we can save that. Now, if we close that, we'll go back to our training and you'll see that we have our first training done. And we will do the exact same thing for the second training, the third training, the fourth training, and the fifth training. So that is how you add course content to Xperiencify. Now that we have finished entering our course content, the next thing that we want to do is step number 4, which, as you can see here, is pages and templates. And pages and templates are a place where I see a lot of people get overwhelmed. Say, "Oh my Lord, I have to be a web designer," or "Oh my gosh, I have to customize all of these pages, etc." The answer is no, you don't have to. We have put these pages in here. For example, the forgot password page, right? That's a page that you may want to customize later on for students who have forgotten their password so that it matches your brand and whatnot. But we've created all of these pages and they would function today, right now, without you doing anything. That's one of the great things about the templates we've created, the course templates. But it's also our way of helping you to actually get your course done and publish it out into the world. There are really only 3 pages that you need for any one course. You need an order form. So that's some people call it a landing page, some people call it a sales page. An order form is where when you send people the URL to your course, that's the first page they're going to see, and that will be the place where they enter their name and their email, and in this case, their credit card information in order to purchase your course. After they have purchased your course, they will be directed immediately, to the home page, and that's where they start your course. And so you can have a welcome message there. You can have some pre-course activities like joining your Facebook group or putting your email address and white-labeling your email address. White-listing your email address, etc., or other actions that you want them to take to get used to taking actions as well as getting them engaged in the course. So the second page is your home page. That's where people land after they've actually ordered your course or actually signed up. And then the third one is what we call the single training page. And so this is where the content from your lessons is displayed. Your video, the downloads, your actions, etc. Right? And so if we go back and, well, let's start with what these look like in the default template, right? So if I click on preview here, it will open up and you will see that here it is. Look, there's the name of my course that, as I call, the Fun and Easy 5-Day Fitness Challenge. There is some text here. It's like, I need to change that text and I need to change this text. And, here's, again, some text you can include. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can change it to say, hey, day 1 is legs and day 2 is abs and day 3 is, a full body workout, etc. And, we've already created, here's how it works. And here's a nice little section where you can add information about yourself. And then Shazam, here's your sign up form. And you can see in this case, I'm going to ask for their first name, last name, their phone number. And then this is where they would put their credit card details in there. PayPal isn't an option because I have not enabled that in my account. This is where they can add that coupon code for, did I put 2025? Is that what it is? Yeah, look. And as soon as they put the correct coupon code in there, it reduces the price by 50%. And then we can talk terms and conditions and stuff, like terms and conditions and stuff. But then you'll see that, remember, in the basic course information, there is right here, you can see we've already inserted in that basic course information about the challenge that you already put in your course. So this is the order page, and this is what it looks like without doing anything at all. So you're like, well, you know what? Green's not my favorite color, and I really would like to change these icons. And I obviously, this is not me. I need to put myself in there. So let's see, how do we actually change this? So I'm going to look at the order form, and you'll see that you can edit it, you can preview it, or you can copy the link to this page to send to people. I'm going to click on the edit button. The edit button is going to take us into a new tab. You'll notice that a new tab opened up. And now I have what's called a block, a block website builder. And so each of the sections are a block. And you can edit the content in each of those sections, everything from the very, very top to the very, very bottom of the footer. I'm going to just demonstrate how you would do this for this first section up here. You see, as I move my mouse over there, it's highlighted with a green outline, and these buttons appear for this section. So if you want to save it to library, that means you can save this block to be used in other parts of your course or courses. If you wanted to edit the layout, so we have the dates of the challenge here, and then you have the course name, and then you have something like this. If you want to edit the layout of that, you would click on Edit Layout. And you can see here we have the pieces that are available in this particular challenge. And you could add a new element, or you can remove one, right? So I'm going to save that and go back, or you can edit the content. So right now I'm not going to edit the layout. So I'm going to say, look, I like these pieces, but I'm just going to edit the content. If I click on that, another pop-up screen comes up, and we can choose how to edit that content. So the content, let's just say the challenge dates are going to be, Feb 1 through 5, 2025. And you'll see that that's changing here in real time as I'm typing it. It's small, maybe I want it to be medium size. We can maybe have it large. And what does that mean? So we can change the font size. I'm not sure what this will look like. So you can see it changed on the screen there. But obviously we want to have it be a reasonable size. So we'll go back. And so, if we wanted to change the headline, this is what's called a token, the course name. You'll see it's in those little brackets there. To get tokens, again, you use that / key. When you come down the / key, if you come down here to tokens, the tokens section, click on a token, and you can see you can put their first name. You can put their last name, their email address, the course name, the course description, your school name, the number of XPs they've earned. So we have a bunch of different tokens that you can put in there. I wouldn't go crazy on that. But you could say, and then I could put, go down to the, tokens, then I could put their first name, right? So I could say, welcome to the course name, Jill or Bob or Tim or Francis or whatever. And that's, whatever first name they put in the order form, it would put their first name in there. So that's how we use tokens. And then you can see the next headline down, it says, add a descriptive sentence about the benefits of the challenge, right? And so, join the challenge and feel better in 5 days, right? So put some, description there. And then, the last piece of text here, we've prompted you to say, sitting around ain't working. So let's start moving, right? And if we wanted to, let's align that to the center. You can see, so it's a very intuitive block editor. You can see how it's working. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time here because we could literally spend the next 2 hours going, sort of step by step on like, how do you change how do you change each of the texts and those kinds of things. But this is a block editor, and you can use this for any of the pages that you have in your site. So this is what the order form looks like. You'll see I could go back to here and I could click on the home page to edit it, or the single training page, but I'm going to stay here, and I can also go down here and I can say, hey, look, let me look at the home page. This is what the home page template is for a challenge. And again, you can customize this page any way that you'd like. You can you could erase all of these blocks and start from scratch. You can put any images in here. You can do whatever you want. And then this is what the single training page looks like. And so I wanted to spend a few seconds here in that the single training page, it's going to talk about, in this case, the template has the name of the module. Then it's going to have the name of the description. Then in this gray box, this is where your video would show up, right? Then down here, if you put some notes for your training, this is where your training notes will have. And then, if you have downloads, this is where they're going to appear in this section. And then your actions are going to appear here. So if you have, as I said, you finish the train. The first one, my actions were what? Finish the workout, and then complete your wellness journal, and tell me about it or give me feedback on it or something like that. So this is where your actions will show up, and then your next training, the next training for them will appear right here, and it will either be unlocked immediately if you have binge mode turned on, or you will it'll wait for the correct time to be released. So this is what the single training page is all about. So for this, quick start tutorial, again, you can get lost and you can find a lot of friction in customizing these pages and templates, but I encourage you to, use the templates we have, customize them a little bit so the text is correct. And so, maybe you can change some colors and add some images so that they match your brand. But our goal here is to get you out and start getting feedback on the actual training material that you have out there. So remember, the order form, you need to have the order form down here. You need to have the home page. That's where your students land after they've actually registered for your course. And then the single training page is where your actual training material is delivered. So that's step number 4. Step number 5 is where is what we call our experience engine. And step number 5 is where we create those experiences that nudge our student along, that gives them, helps them to understand where their progress is, that gives them encouragement, et cetera, et cetera. So as you see, when I open up step number 5 here, in this template, we've actually already put in a bunch of experiences for you. And so you can either remove those experiences and create your own, or you can just edit what we have. So what we're looking at here, I like to think of this as mental, like a mental model, is these are automations like you'd find in any other CRM system, like, like a MailChimp or an ActiveCampaign or something like that. So when somebody signs up for your newsletter, take them into this drip campaign so that, they will receive an email every day for the next 7 days. Or, when somebody signs up for this lead magnet, go take them into a nurture sequence that makes them certain offers. That's what the experience engine is, right? And each one of these blocks is an automation. So that's the way I think now. I like to think about it, and it works for a lot of people. So if I click into, if I go to when, and you can see here, this is the trigger moment when somebody is added to the course, when they have signed up, and they are our system adds them to the course. What's going to happen? We're going to send them a welcome email, right? And so that welcome email is we've built a template for you. And so if you click on the welcome email, you can see, this is where you're going to need to add some details and maybe change that image and, put your benefits that you have for this challenge. But you can see here, this is where they get their magic link and, how to log into the system, etc. And in order to edit it, you'll just click on the edit button, and you're able to come in and again change anything. It's a fairly standard editor that we have to either add links or add descriptions, etc. Right? And you can change the name of the email. You can change who it's up. You can change, who it's from, what the subject is, who do you send the email to, etc. Let's just save those. Let's say that, after they send the student welcome email, you would like to, you want to wait a couple of days and then send them another email just to check in with them, right? So let's just do it 24 hours, right? So if I want to add an action to this experience, you click on this plus button below, and I'm going to add something called a delay timer, right? So we're going to delay, and we're going to say delay by 1 day. So we're going to have it wait 1 day, and then we're going to send them another email. So let's do, oops, sorry. No, it took 2 seconds so long. Let's see. So these are just templates that we've created for you. Let's just add that, something important. Ooh, here it is. Here's our something in important email, right? And so maybe, you could customize this link. The text within this in order to nudge them along and say, hey, look, you signed up for the challenge. Just want to check in with you. Want to make sure that you're ready for day 2, et cetera, et cetera. So that's an example of using the Experience Engine to send emails. We could also use the Experience Engine to add a tag to a learner's account or a student's account, so that we say, hey, look, when they have completed module number 1, or sorry, training number 1, put the tag training number 1 on there. Or we could give them a badge, and when they've completed training number 1. Ooh, look at this. You can you can put badges on there. You can send them new emails. You can release bonuses or unlock replays, etc. So your what is available here in these if in the Experience Engine is really kind of up to your imagination. At the end of the day, you can use the Experience Engine to nudge a learner along. You can use it so if you can ask our system, the Xperiencify system, to monitor them. And if they haven't shown up for a certain amount of time, to go out and try to recover them. Let's, for example, I don't think there's one in this template. If I'm going to create a new experience over here. So I'm going to click over here. I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to click on there and I'm going to create it from, I believe it's the playbook. And you can see here, for example, student rescue, right? And so as you can see here, like sometimes they don't log in for a while, and we want to try to go find them and get them back, right? So I'm going to choose this experience. It's going to be added down here. And what's going to happen is we've already created this thing that says, hey, look, if they haven't logged in for 2 weeks, we're going to send them an email. We're going to send them an SMS and say, hey, why don't you come back, right? You want to make sure that you turn that on if you want it to work. So that's how you add a new experience and the different types of things that you can do with the experience engine. The final piece for when you're creating a course in Xperiencify is to decide what celebrations that you'd like to have. Celebrations are the full screen. I'll just give you an example. The full screen celebrations that you would hear. So here's what it looks like. All right. So those are the full screen celebrations. And you can decide how many celebrations you'd like to have. If you'd like to have one at the beginning, the end, and maybe one in the middle, or maybe you want to have one every time somebody earns a badge, as you can see here, or you want to have an Easter egg, maybe at the end of in the middle of module 3 when they give you feedback at the end of training number 3. You could put a celebration so that it's like, wow, that was unexpected, but cool. Wow, yeah, that's great. I'm glad I gave feedback. This is where you create those celebrations, and in order to edit them, or you can click on any of the ones that we have put into the template. You can choose when, so the trigger event, you'll see here, it says trigger events, right? Oops, it keeps grabbing it rather than highlighting it. There you go. And you can see, like, when do we want to trigger it? So it's the first login, or the student gets a tag, or a tag is added, or maybe they've earned a certain number of points, or the training is completed, or a module is completed, right? And so in this particular case, we're going to say the first login, when they first log into the course, and you saw it was that rocket. But if I didn't really, really like that rocket and I wanted to do something different, I can open the celebration builder. And this is where we can choose, any number of automations that we have in here. So animations. And I wonder if fitness, let's see what good ones we have for fitness. Woohoo, look at that. We can put this, this gym character in there. We can have, let's put another one in here. Ooh, everybody wants to be Mr. Strong. And rather than the applause, we could say the happy sound. Okay, so that looks kind of weird that we have. It looks kind of weird that we have the pump and iron over top of somebody lifting weights, but you see what I'm getting at here, where you can you can change what you want to have in here very easily, so that the celebrations become customized to your brand and to the to the expression that you want to have for your course. And you can create as many celebrations as you'd like. They're very simple, and shazam! That's what happens in step number 6. So as you can see, we've gone through all of the different pieces, right? Step 1, basic course info. Step number 2 is we put some pricing in there. It's $99. We've added course content in step number 3. We've customized the pages and the templates in step number 4. We have put experiences in step number 5, and we've created celebrations in step number 6. The final 2 pieces that you see here, important links and resources in the course settings. So if we just look at importance, links, and resources, ultimately, most people ask us about how do I, what's the link that I send in order for people to come buy it? And that's the order form page right here. And we've even told you, hey, send this to buyers. So you can easily copy that link and then put that into a social media post or an email or on a website, on a button on your website, etc. And this is the link that will take them to your course in order to purchase it. You can also see that, here's where your school is, here's where your marketplace is, and here's where your affiliate program is. Though I'm going to save those for other trainings because this is supposed to be how do you get your course up and running quickly. You don't need to worry about those. And then finally, course settings. This is where you'll find that binge mode if you wanted to turn binge mode on. Yes, turn it on, right? And then it says here, should binge mode unlock locked content? You can choose that as well if you'd like, but I'm going to turn it off for now. The final thing that, you need to do in order to have this ready for the world is that you actually have to publish the course. So in this case, you'll come up here, move your mouse or hover your mouse over the unpublished, and then you're going to click on publish course. When you click on publish course, you'll see this allows people to access it. Is that what you want? Absolutely. And you will now be congratulated. And if we go back to our courses section, as soon as the confetti ends, if we go back to courses, you'll see that this fitness challenge has now been moved up from unpublished courses to our published courses. And Shazam. So now I could send this out and have students come and take this course. The only thing that you may run into, because we did not actually talk about it, is that you can't publish a course until you've connected a Stripe account or a PayPal account. And so here's how you do that. On the left-hand side, you'll see that we have the account function. So if we go to account, and then we go to the advanced tab. The advanced tab is where you can see this is where we can connect our Stripe account. And all you need to do is put in your Stripe email address that you use for Stripe. And when you click on connect, it will ask you to verify that you want to connect your account, and away you go. And then, or you can connect your PayPal account, or you can connect both of them. And that gives people the option to use PayPal as well. So that's the only other piece that you need in order to have your course ready to go for the world. So this has been our quick start, A to Z. Get your course up and running on Xperiencify training. I hope you found it effective. I hope that this will allow you to move quickly into building a course. Please do reach out anytime that you need to support@Xperiencify.com to have our help file, have our team help you out. You can also use our help widget. So down here on the right-hand side, if you want to ask a question, either our bot will help you or one of our agents will help you. And then finally, please make sure that you come to our office hours that happen 4 times a week to ask a question and get your questions answered live. We have a 1-hour Zoom call 4 days a week, and you can always go to our help files to find out what those training dates are or those open office hours are. Thanks.